day for that must-win result. And meanwhile, this Armageddon is ready to get underway. And Nodirbek shakes hands. It's go time. What will be his first move? He decides to go with the queen's pawn opening.
Okay, it's d4 and hesitation from Wesley, and eventually pawn to d5. We see a queen's gambit. Will it be accepted? Yes, it will.
And Wesley has played this at the highest level in classical chess as well. This is a tried and true opening for Wesley. He loves these kind of closed positions, solid positional battles. But will Nodirbek be able to break free and try to play for a win?
Out of the three Armageddons that we've got going on, these two are probably the safest, just relatively. Well, Wesley, I think he's made it through. Nodirbek, with his couple of match victories, also looking good to go into survival stage. But it's really, the pressure has to be on the other two Armageddons. It's hanging by a thread in those ones.
Yeah, and you can tell with the opening choice here, Wesley, so he knows he's banked it. He knows he's going to be in the semi-finals. He's happy to play solid and put the pressure on Abdusattorov, who will be feeling ambitious, who still wants to maybe maintain a small chance of qualifying for the semi-finals if he wins this one. But, yeah, either way, as you mentioned, Tanya, the stakes are higher in the other games. But two informed players, this one will be fun to watch as well.
Yeah, let's remind everyone, the top two finishers after the round robin go straight to the semi-finals. Those who finish from third to sixth, they go into survival stage, which will be fought tomorrow to make it. Two will only survive, and two players tomorrow will get eliminated.
And we see right now those players, Firouzja and Lazovic, they're facing each other right now in Armageddon. So that's actually a huge matchup to shake up the standings. And
we look at the current standings right now. If the round-robin stage was to end, Alireza Firouzja, Denis Lazovic would be out. Hikaru and Maxime would make it up to the survival stage right now. Nodirbek Abdusattorov in a good position here at number 3, looking safe in his fight to survival stage.
Yeah, the good news for Nakamura, Firouzja and Lazovic is they are still playing Armageddon right now. Vachier Lagrave in 5th. He's done for this round, so people will catch him. He's not entirely safe either.
Nodirbek Abdusattorov. We saw the eval bar go in wait, whose favor? Wesley's favor here? Wesley's got... What's going on? Why is Wesley so much better?
Because he looks like Nodirbek is playing how I did as a kid and how Dennis described in the interview. You play for checkmate very early. There is no checkmate. Black fended it off. Look at White's queen side, completely undeveloped. And there's going to be a problem down the C line. There's a black rook sitting there. There are loose pieces. In fact, pawn takes d4. You would hope for a tactical response for White. Queen takes d4. But this is actually not going to work out because at the very least, bishop takes h2 check. King takes h2. Let's trade these queens off the board. Then I'll pick up your bishop on c2. Black's up a pawn, and all you need is a draw, but you're probably just winning.
Yep, just winning. That is basically the correct evaluation of this position. And Robert, he starts with h5. Equally good. All of these, I mean, Black has so much choice. You can drop a bishop back just to pin this knight as well. But just simply pawn takes pawn, unleashing an attack. Loose pieces drop off, as we keep saying, and this is a loose bishop. You win a pawn. It's not just that, but how does White even cling on? This bishop, if you drop it back, you walk into a nasty double attack, a knight fork. If you drop back the other way, maybe you have to. You keep the game alive, but, OK, we are seeing the game change slightly, but same theme. It's all about this loose piece. Black has everything covered. White's down material and in a world of pain.
Yeah. Wesley, so his king is in the center, but everything else playing. And Robert, as you and David just explained, that this position close to busted for White with that bishop on c2 hanging. The pawn on e3 weak, the knight on g5 pin. There is no attack anymore. The rook on a1 isn't participating. Nodirbek in big trouble early on in the game.
It was artificial, right? You just threw all your pieces forward, hoped you'd get an attack, and it was parried quite easily, I might add. So Wesley, his solid style is actually perfect for Armageddon, getting the black pieces, and he proved that when he gets the white pieces as well, he can get the job done as he did against Magnus. But Nodirbek, I think he's bitten off more than he can chew. He's backtracking now. He's down a very important pass pawn, and yeah, this looks over already.
And you can see the lack of coordination in White's pieces. You've got the two bishops on the first ranks. The rooks don't have any open file. The knight on g5 pin. Look at Wesley's beautiful pawn on d3. He's up material as well. And it just looks like it's going from bad to worse. Nodirbek hopes to put the bishop from c1 to b2 to try and get some activity here. But it looks like it's not going to be enough. Perhaps he can also go bishop f6 and just keep the diagonal under control.
Yeah, bishop f6, put a black bishop on the beautiful c3 square, paralyzed the entire white army. Yeah, this is just a demonstration of control. Wesley So, he's likely to go 6 for 6 right now.
Wow.
He's just banging form. And Abdusattorov, he shot his shot just too early, unfortunately, and it's backfired so quickly. Armageddon, there's so many different strategies. It's the Hardik in that one because he's the player he can catch with a superior head-to-head with a win tomorrow. This one, meanwhile, still nothing too much has changed other than Black's advantage growing and still winning for Wesley So here. OK, at least a threat on the board. White's queen threatening to come into b8 with a nasty check. Black's king not entirely safe. Where is the killer blow? What is the most professional way to end this one? Black with a 3-pawn advantage currently. Needs to turn it into something bigger. So close to touchdown. Queen back to d5. I'm struggling because actually Black's rook in the corner as well. Not entirely safe.
Yeah, it's a weird position where I can't even calculate how many pawns Black is ahead. If I'm not mistaken, Black has 7, White has 4. So 3 extra pawns. It doesn't look like the material imbalance. And the queen b8 check, that is a bit scary. Black has a pawn 1 square away from promotion, but that bishop covers it. It's actually not nearly as clear as you would think it should be. And Wesley could go wrong.
Wow. I'm going to eat my words. The advantage hasn't grown. It's just changed. It's still winning, but far less easy or straightforward. He drops the queen back the whole way to her starting square. This is based on the fact that the black rook in the corner is edible. You can go and take it. White's bishop on b2 can go take that black rook, but Black makes a new queen as well. White's bishop kind of stuck controlling the promotion square of the c-pawn. OK, Wesley keeping control with that move, but not a happy one. He's still 1.5 minutes down on the clock as well.
But it's a good defensive move because you just stop any checks on b8 and the bishop was hanging if a check did arrive. So still keeping everything under control. That c2 pawn, still a power pawn there. The rook steps out of any captures on h8, lines itself. Nodirbek, he does snap up 1 pawn. The bishop on b7 is hanging. Is it time to go queen d5? He does it as a mate in 1 threatened on g2.
Well, pawn e4 is a good way to stop that checkmate idea, but that would invite a queen trade, and I think a queen trade should definitely be favorable for Wesley. We have to remember, he doesn't need to win this game. It may be completely winning. He may know that. The evaluation bar says as much. But all he needs is a draw, so if he could force queens off the board, make sure he has 0 losing chances, that is probably the best way to go.
Let's just show that very quickly, Robert. Big threat on the board. Checkmate on g2, and the move you want to play, pawn to e4. Yeah, Wesley will not even consider taking this pawn when there might be tricks on the f7 square. He will immediately, instantly get those queens off the board. Check. And once they're off, yeah, no matter how many pawns you drop now here as Black, you can pretty much guarantee a draw. You're still a few pawns to the good. And therefore, how else to defend this square? You might just have to play a move like rook f2, as he has done, allowing a queen. And we see Wesley now up a piece.
That's a big piece as well. That knight on c1 is hopping up to d3 to win some more material. Nodirbek attacks the queen on d5. He's still fighting. Do you just jump back with your knight to d3?
I think that might be the safest. If you drop Black back with the queen, maybe safe too, but yeah, why not block? And the problem is White will never even be able to take this, this pinned piece because there's always ideas on the g2 square. At the right time, Black can also play a move like f6. OK, queen to c3. He's still fighting really hard here, Nodirbek, and Wesley's just trying to get into an advantageous endgame.
And I think if you do trade queens after taking that knight, the point is that Black pushes the f-pawn to f6, and there is this weakness on the g2 square. You can't fall back to f3. The knight will be picked up. So queen takes knight is not even hanging in the current position. Wesley, just up a full piece.
Tactically, it fails for Nodirbek, and for Wesley, just a reminder to everybody, he has draw odds. So if he draws this game, it counts as a win. He wins the match. So he doesn't even need to checkmate. He doesn't need to just scoop up all the pawns. He is doing everything just so well in Toronto. It's been a magical place for him.
Yep, getting those queens off by any means necessary comes at the cost of most of his material advantage, but still a pawn up, the superior minor piece, threats against the g2 square. It's all adding up right now, and Wesley So, just so calm. I can't remember one time he's even been worse in this entire tournament.
And he's just playing flawlessly. Now he's going for the pawn on the other side of the board. He's going to pick up that a-pawn with an outside passer, completely winning. And if he does get this in the bag, that will be his 6th match victory.
Yeah, at this level, this is over pretty much. I can't see any comeback, any fight back. And also, he's up on the clock, 30 seconds with Black. This is just greedy. He's got everything, Wesley So. And here comes the a-pawn.
Oh, my gosh.
Keep pushing it, right? As long as you don't walk into a knight fork that loses you material, you have this game in the bag. And bishop to b3 is coming. You know, he can move his king up, and he can always repeat moves. If he makes a draw, he wins the match. I know I've said that often, but wow, king in the center. He's just going to checkmate the other king with his.
I mean, he's playing with that pawn on a3, the king marching up to e4, to f3, just everything. But the pawn on a3, it can be picked up right now. There is no defending that one.
Bit of a slip up there from Wesley. He could probably have taken that
That's what I
knight
was
with the black
thinking.
rook and pushed the black pawn to a2 with a winning endgame, but okay, he's going for white's kingside pawns instead.
And no tricks. If that king took the pawn, there would have been a pawn push with check. Now the king can successfully steal not just one, but 2 pawns over there. There's limited material, so Nodirbek's hope is gone along with his pawns.
And that h-pawn will march down the board. Wesley So on the brink of getting his 6th match victory. He's going to just simply move forward with the king and start pushing pawns.
He's just going to keep checking now with the black rook and force a draw with some repetition.
Wow, and Nodirbek doesn't have an option but to somehow keep the game going, because a draw is as bad as a loss for Nodirbek here.
I was thinking he might rook c2 check. I was thinking, can you get away with that? You shouldn't do that. That's playing with fire. But if Wesley can trade off all of the pieces and use his passed pawns, then that could end the game. But I would just move my king into the position, free up the passed pawn. That's going to rumble to the other side. The carpet is rolled out for it.
Oh, he's reaching out. He's not reaching anything.
He's
Look at
counting,
that
Wesley.
calculation that's going on there.
Like a conductor with his orchestra, just choosing where to put the pieces.
He was, I think, looking at all the checks. Is he going to give a check from b1, force the white king to the edge of the board, and now he goes for the 3rd remaining pawn, forcing white's rook to a passive position or lose the pawn.
Yeah, so professional. Just removing any risk every time, Wesley. So 3 pawns to the good now. All pawns and no hope for white. And will we even see a repetition?
Wesley's still going for the draw, and so professional. Wesley So gets the job done. He takes it in the Armageddon. That is